Silapha ke ICC attend again the conference brought to you by the MEC of Public Works and Infrastructure, the Honorable Madikizela. The conference was called Property Development and Investment. There was the public sector, there was the private sector, there was the banking sector as well, brought together to have a conversation on how we can make properties in the Eastern Cape more available and build employment and also boost women in the industry. Sivile ke bethetho MEC, we heard private sectors all bringing their valuable input in order to make sure that Eastern Cape noko iyaphuhla when it comes to property development. Sizawungena ngaphakathi ke and find out more from the MEC as well, more also from the Premier of the Eastern Cape, the Honorable Oscar Mabuyane. Masingena ngaphakathi.
Audio preview.
We've inherited a department with properties that are dilapidating, underused, underdeveloped, and most of them illegally occupied. Hence we have, as late 2019, launched a campaign, Operation Bring Back City Mazibuya, and where we started evicting people. You might have seen Nagom Tata and other areas where we're evicting people, that we continue to do that, to reclaim those properties, in making sure in Zwelitsha's estate, and then after Zwelitsha's estate, of availing them to the market for the maximum use potential years. So that's what we're trying to do. Currently, our asset register is undervalued at around 18 billion, mainly because of the conditions of our buildings. Now, it means if you've got an undervalued asset register as a government, so we're trying to add value in our assets by attracting investors, but also to make sure we don't pay rates for properties that are not used. We don't pay security guards to guard properties that are dilapidating, properties that are underused. We don't allow our properties to be invaded because they are not used. So we want to make sure all our properties, properties be investment as the property is supposed to be investment. It's going to be liability to the state. We don't spend on something and generate income. As I've always been saying, we are paying around 500 million or so on rates and taxes, across on the properties, but we are collecting less than 100 million. It technically means you've got 400 million that you flush. Now we want to turn that around. Make sure our properties generate revenue, create employment engekhoyo. Create employment, constructor, create employment for people who will be working there, those properties. So that's what we are trying to do.
Sikwazile ukuphumelela ngokwendlela besicwangcise ngayo. Ukuqinisekisa into yobana ngaba izindlu zabantu abakhi kulo msebenzi si uqalileyo nesikuconsolidatayo namhlanje. Bakhona bonke apha namhlanje. Njengoba undichwetha nje undikhupha ku-presenter o-PIC, your banks, meaning inene eliphupha sizama ukulenza ngephondo leMpuma Koloni ukuthi i-financial institutions come closer and recognize the role they've got to play ekutransformeni kwe-economy yephondo. Bayayibona. We have had and as we have invited abantu who have walked lendlela, abantu who started entrepreneurs, your billion group bafiki lapha to share with our entrepreneurs zasephondweni what are the challenges. Now okubalulekileyo ngoku kule success esiyibonileyo kule nkomfa ukudrawa i-conclusions ezithi xa siphuma apha intoni ekufuneka siyenze differently from what we were doing before singene kule nkomfa. Nanso ke ngoku xa siyiququmbela le nkomfa into esixakeke simaqhaphesho yiyo in our secretariat to draw those conclusions so that we are able to monitor ourselves, sibe qiniseka uba we are better than we were before singene kule nkonzo.
This conference has been groundbreaking. It's the first of this kind for our province. You'd recall that our province is known as a province that is underdeveloped, and it's bedeviled by challenges of unemployment. So this conference for us it's groundbreaking because for the first time government is now extending a hand to the private sector to say we must join hands and let's rebuild the Eastern Cape. Also what we are doing through this conference is that we are inviting new entrants into the property sector. You'll understand that in terms of the history of South Africa, black people do not own land. And we are saying that we want to use state-owned land now to ensure that they enter the space of property development using state land so that we change the picture. And this is a vision of our MEC Matikizela, together with the head of department, Uthando Lwetumanda, to say that for the first time now, let us be people that are leading from the front.
And you know, they also mentioned employment that will be helped, you know, when this all the things that I said in this conference have been implemented. But I was more interested in the fact that they said also abantu abangomama will be able, you know, to tap into this market and get. How are you planning to do that?
I think about 2 or 3 months ago we issued an expression of interest for people that are interested in participating in our property incubator program. We are now in the final stages of evaluating for that, and we'll make it a point that no less than 60% of the participants in the property incubator program are women, because you'd understand that women in South Africa historically have been oppressed in terms of race, in terms of gender, and in terms of class. So we want to change that picture, because women, as all of us know, are the ones that in fact carry this country. So we want to extend opportunities to them, but also part of what we want to do with these interventions is to ensure that young people in particular do benefit. The quarterly market labor survey that has just been issued the day before yesterday has given a grim picture of youth unemployment. So those are the things that we believe that if we implement the vision of the MEC of Public Works, Mr. Matikizela, we'll be able to deal with, to create more work opportunities, but to also create wealth for black people, because it must not only be about employment. We want entrepreneurs that are black so that they are able themselves to create opportunities and help government to achieve its objectives.
Before I let you go, I'm more interested in the incubator programs. For umuntu ngoza kubukela on Zwelitsha TV, hey, I understand. Now I'm a female, I want to be part of this, or I've got a youth, part of this property, investment, development, younger londo. Out incubator, what is the one thing that you could mention to them as about they are benefiting?
Remember, we have said that we want to expose new entrants in the property development sector into the space. So what we have done, we have looked at categories of opportunities that we have. So we've got opportunities for estate agents, we've got opportunities for facility management companies to come and be part of an incubator program where we're going to empower them in terms of the skills required for them to succeed into the sector. We'll also be engaging as management to look at setting aside certain opportunities that would constantly benefit them. Remember, part of what was said here by one of the speakers, Ipeleng Mkari, is that what defines a successful entrepreneur with the unsuccessful one is the availability of an opportunity. So those that are within our incubator program, they will be exposed to those opportunities that will enable them to be better entrepreneurs that succeed with their businesses.
Great, thank you so much. Aike Sibonile coming into fruition, a brainchild of MEC Matikizela with his property conference and development conference as well. Apoge satita naye afterwards as well. Esibekile speech sakho bamhlabe, what do we do moving onwards from this point on? Satita naye HOD of Public Works as well. Esichazela nje naye how excited he is to be moving ahead with this brainchild ga MEC. Looking forward to seeing the developments and what will happen in the Eastern Cape, all the progression that is going to be coming from this conference, and also discovering that the Eastern Cape is truly a province of legends. For Zwelitsha Online TV, I am Azola Vanda.